Well, you've come down to Studio 3 here at SIRENNET Television Center, and we're going to be taking a look at a brand new Ford Interceptor utility vehicle that has just come into us here. It is part of our demonstrator fleet that we have. This particular vehicle has been set up as a SoundOff vehicle, has a variety of different SoundOff product on it, and we're going to be taking a look at it here today and giving you an insight of what you can see on the highways and byways of our local neighborhood. But of course, if you're watching it on SIRENNET Television, you can see it anywhere in the world, from Dublin to Berlin to Beijing to Johannesburg and to Portland as well. So we've got to go find young Chris. Now he's around here somewhere. Chris! Oh, thank you for joining us, Chris.
Hi, Stuart. Hi, everybody.
And we're going to talk about this brand new Ford Interceptor
We
utility.
are indeed.
It's looking great, right?
It is bright and shiny black. It's equipped with SoundOff signal product, as Stuart mentioned. With that, intersectors on the passenger and driver side mirrors, N-Force headliner mount front interior warning bar, and this happens to be the tricolor variant. Up in the front headlight buckets, we have the SoundOff dual color LED hideaways. They're available in solid colors as well. And these ones happen to be inserted through the Ford factory hole. So as you can see, they fit wonderful. Down here on the lower fascia, driver and passenger side, we have a dual stack of LED light heads. It's the EL3s, 3 diodes. And these are in a custom bezel that is made specifically for the Ford Utility Interceptor.
Now, one reason we did this because of using a PAR 36 versus
PAR 36 in this configuration actually doesn't happen to be something that's available specifically for this.
So SoundOff makes a flange just like this that these will fit into?
Exactly, yeah. So the flange is made by SoundOff, specifically cut for a pair of the LED light heads. And with that, the flange itself is designed and includes mounting hardware specific for the Ford front valance, where fog lights would be for you.
And of course, this is a Satina push bumper, which is another product that we offer here on SIRENNET. Some different light modules being put into this too.
It does. It has the N-Force LED modules, as you can see, a pair front facing. You also happen to have a pair, one driver, one passenger, for intersection protection.
And they're at an angle, right?
They are indeed. You'll notice the angle in which they've been mounted into the side of the push bumper.
Great. Well, let's go from here to the back. So as I hurry to the back of the car, my objective, of course, is to try and find young Chris, who is at the front. Let's see if he's at the back. Chris, are you here?
I am indeed.
The magic of television.
Decided to sneak up on you.
You did. So now we have the back of the car.
We do indeed. Affixed here on the hatch, vertically positioned, we have the tricolor N-Force lights. As we move over to the taillight assemblies, we have inserted LED hideaways both in the reverse light portion and in the blinker portion as well. So nice thing with the Ford SUVs, you can actually do a pair per side, so you can organize colors as needed.
Now, is this a special bracket that's been configured here? No, they surface mounted these.
They did indeed. So
Okay.
with this, surface mounted, so using the flange and rubber gasket for seating it onto the hatch here as needed. There are brackets available should you need to use them for mounting them differently, more or less in a holeless manner for the application needed.
Now, also inside here, and the tint is, I think you guys, the camera crew, give me a nod. Can you see it in there? Yes, I'm getting a nod. So you've got the N-Force.
We do. It's the 8-module N-Force traffic controller. So offers easy arrow functions, left, right, center, outward, and warning functions as well.
Great. Well, we've seen the back of the car. Nothing else in this area? That's pretty much it?
Not in this area, but
Okay.
we could always lift the hatch and we could show some other accessories that have been added in there.
Let's do that. So,
For rear protection, we have a pair of ghost lights, and these have been installed with an optional grommet that is available for the ghost light. So as you can see, you can go ahead and recess it in so it's nice and flat. Again, bottom view of the 8-module N-Force TA.
it even has bottom upside down.
Want to make sure that it's mounted and oriented
That's for
right,
me.
left and right.
Got it.
And also, as you can see, nice spacing for this to fit in here. On the bottom of the hatch here, for interior illumination, we've added a multitude of items, again, from SoundOff. we have a pair of 12-inch 3-diode strip lights.
And I'm going to go turn them on.
Thank you. So as you can see, illumination in the cargo area for working at night. Also, in the center, we happen to have one of the red and white LED dome lights that's available.
Now again, these lights, of course, like everything else, have different applications. So this is really a compartment strip light, and again, we're using it here in the rear tail door of this particular Ford utility. You, of course, can put this in a compartment of a fire truck or in an ambulance, or really any area where you want to have white strip illumination. It's an excellent product to take a look at. As far as the dome lights go, as Chris was showing a moment ago, again, very common in police vehicles or police spec vehicles here in the US. Of course, also get them in fire vehicles as well, not excluding the fire service. Again, the object is white and red, as Chris was showing us.
So the illumination there, that'll go ahead and wrap up the accessories that are in the back of the Ford here.
Great.
So with that, let's go ahead, move onward.
So let's go over to the left and right side doors. Open them up. And as you can see here, there actually is a Fusion surface mount light head that's been put into the side of the door on the obviously exterior, well actually it's on the interior side, but it's exterior when you open the door. And this happens to be red-blue configuration. A variety of different safety colors are available. That's something nice that Chris did with respect to that. And speaking of Chris, where are you?
I'm around, I'm coming.
There you are, Chris. What do we got?
Now that we're inside the car, in the center equipment console here, we have a wonderful Energy Series controller by, again, SoundOff signal. And this is what operates the sirens and the lighting equipment around the rig. So push button array here for accessories as needed. You have a arrow indicator here. So for the rear 8 module N-Force, you know if it's going left, right, center, outward. Buttons here for siren tone controlling on manual as needed. You can also put it into hands-free, radio rebroadcast as well. And down here at the bottom, as you can see, a nice heavy-duty 3-position rocker switch.
Now we've got it's turned off. That's the reason why it hasn't come on.
It is turned off at the moment, yes. So when the system is on and booted up, we'll show you that here in a moment, the indicators on here will go ahead and illuminate so you know what's working for you at the time when the buttons are pressed as needed.
Great.
As I mentioned earlier, the rig is equipped with a N-Force interior mounted warning light bar. Now that we're inside the rig, you can see it's a nice tight fitting shroud for both the passenger and the driver's side. Mounts up in the headliner based off hardware that affixes to the shroud, and that hardware in turn affixes onto the sun visor mounting points. So with that, it's vehicle specific and goes right into the front without any modifications or damage to the headliner.
Great. Now one other thing that's obviously also inside this vehicle is on the rear window area of the vehicle, you have...
On the third rear windows, we happen to have N-Force dual deck lights.
Right.
So we'll go ahead, take a look at those. Also, on the side profile of the vehicle, down low, we have SoundOff's N-line running lights.
Okay. So, from the inside to the outside, we're going to take a look at what's mounted underneath the vehicle. In this case, this happens to be the N-line running board strip light, which is shown here. This one happens to be a total of 60 inches in length, comes in a variety of different safety colors, and we're going to turn it on in a minute. But before we do turning on of this, we're going to go find out what little Chris is up to. Hey Chris, what are you doing?
It's always fun to be sneaky and move around the vehicle when Stuart's on the other part of the vehicle. For the third windows on the Ford SUV here, we've gone ahead and put in a pair of N-Force dual deck lights. And by dual, it's 2 heads in 1 housing. So as you can see, going through the third window here, it's affixed onto the side interior mount and then makes for nice bright illumination toward the rear of the vehicle.
Well, now we found out where Chris was, we're going to go ahead and turn all the lighting on this particular vehicle. But before we do that, I would like to say thanks a million for watching SIRENNET Television. I'm Stuart, and somewhere at the back of the vehicle is Chris, and we'll be going over to him right now.
And I'm Chris. We hope you've liked the walk around of our SIRENNET SoundOff utility interceptor. Thanks for watching.